Smoke a fire bag, yeah, a grass, yeah. The booth is hot, the booth is hot. It's Lizzy Jeff, taking over. Let's go. Like it's 1999 with cash money this hit. I'ma make you New Orleans bounce that ass to this shit. I'm a goddess, but I'm ratchet, far from modest. You only magic, you just got it, but I had it simply cause I'm far from average. So are you, but you like passion. Want it, gotta go grab it. Either way, level up or get eaten up by savages. Don't even understand why we gotta be mad. Help each other elevate and focus on the bad. I just wanna see you as your greatest. Never giving in to the fake shit. Stack of dividends in my spaceship. Overcame my fears by facing them. Dedication, elevation mixed with patience is the reason why my life is so amazing.
This is 2 Cents, the podcast, with your host, Clinton Washington, and your co-host, D'Angelo Gillespie. Let's go.
Let's go. Welcome to another episode of 2 Cent, the podcast. I am your favorite uncle, Uncle Clint from 2 Cent, the podcast, as I already said. And you know what? I'm sitting here without my co-host. He's on the phone, though. Couldn't get rid of him. But we had to keep him home because he got COVID. Does that go against the HIPAA laws? I just told your medical business.
Man, don't put my business out there. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Anyway.
But, you know, anyway, he's
I don't
sick.
got COVID. I'm just quarantining, man.
Okay,
I mean,
he don't have COVID, but he got his significant other sick. So I don't know how that works. But anyway, go ahead over the phone, guy.
Hey man, it's hard to do a podcast over the phone. I ain't never been in this situation. I can't stop from cutting you off like this. My bad.
Hey man, you know what? But I'm having a good time, man. I'm vibing with a whole bunch of good looking people. I'm learning some new things, and I'm gonna introduce you to those new things. So because you couldn't come out and hang out with us because you were quarantined because you had COVID, and I'm gonna keep saying that he had COVID. So if you guys see him on the street, call the COVID police, have him arrested, lock him up, do all that stuff. All right. But this is my co-host, Mr. No Longer Single out here in these streets, Mr. D'Angelo Gillespie. What's going on, man?
Shit.
Other than being sick.
I can't hear a damn thing.
I'm all right, man. I'm at home with a bottle. You know what I'm saying? Got my ginger ale. Got my.
What you drinking?
Got my latte. Hennessy. Same old. You know, I don't want to change it up for COVID. You know.
Okay.
Same old.
This is what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
We're having some sound technical difficulties, but I'm gonna fix that.
You want me to get in the you want me to try to get some headphones or something?
No, you stay home. You stay home. We don't need you here.
Man, I said some headphones. I ain't say I was gonna come nowhere.
Listen, for you guys listening in on 2 Cent the podcast right now, you about to get something real special. I gave you something in the beginning, but now I'm about to give you the whole thing. I'm sitting here with none other than Lizzy Jeff. What's going on, Lizzy?
Smoke a fire bag, yeah.
And we got to hear that again, baby.
The booth is hot, the booth is hot.
I'm going to let y'all vibe to that.
It's Lizzy Jeff, taking over.
Sing it with me if you know it.
Let's go. Like it's 1999 with cash money this hit. I'ma make you New Orleans bounce that ass to this shit. I'm a goddess, but I'm ratchet, far from modest. You only magic, you just got it, but I had it simply cause I'm far from average. So are you, but you like passion. Want it, gotta go grab it. Either way, level up or get eaten up by savages. Don't even understand why we gotta be mad. Help each other elevate and focus on the bad. I just wanna see you as your greatest. Never giving in to the fake shit. Stack of dividends in my spaceship. Overcame my fears by facing them. Dedication, elevation mixed with patience is the reason why my life is so amazing.
Hey, that's the reason why my life is so amazing.
I love that part.
Money bags, money bags, money bags, money bags, money bags.
Man, that's what's up. I had to play that again, man. I'm vibing off of that for real. Listen,
money bags.
I've been listening to it for a couple days, and you know, I'm admit, you know, I was liking the girls in the video too. You know, they was looking lovely. very church-like.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Listen, Lizzy, who are you? Who are you? Tell us who you are.
Divinity
Okay.
mixed with a little bit of OG,
Okay.
mixed with a little bit of y'all laughing at me. Mixed with a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but I'm definitely somebody that understands my purpose, that understands how to take my divine gifts and get creative with them and present them to the world in a way that will uplift people and create a really fly-ass shift on this planet. You know, I'm an artist, musician, CEO of Zen Kush Records, you feel me? And so many other things. But I love my community. I love my family. You know, I just love my position in life and my intention to utilize my platform as a space to uplift, encourage, heal, inspire everybody to just tune into their divinity and their purpose and their mission in life. And I'm just having fun with it.
So before I let my co-host ask a question, I want to ask you this. How did you get here? How did you get to this space in your life where you have discomfort?
That's a good one. How did I get to the place where I have this comfort?
Yep.
Shit. A lot of cold ass nights, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of deep manifestation and deep shadow work and some deep light work. A lot of trying shit and it not working out how I envisioned it working out and being okay with going with the flow and figuring out a new way to do it. And a lot of the inspiration and the strength and the resilience of my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my ancestors, and having that awareness to be able to tune into my intuition and my power. And it took a lot of hard work, and it took a lot of belief in myself and working on my self-confidence every day and working on my skill sets and teaching myself how to become an asset rather than being a liability. And,
All right, D'Angelo, I know you got a hot one.
Lizzy Jeff, where you from?
West Side.
West
He
side
asked
of
me where
what?
I was from.
Hold on.
I'm from,
West side
I'm
of
from
what?
Los Angeles, California, this
from
neighborhood
Baltimore?
known as the Crenshaw District.
Okay.
And my family is from New Orleans. And so I spent a lot of my childhood growing up there. So it's a nice fusion of both cultures. But I'm born in L.A., raised in L.A., raised in the city of New Orleans.
All right, so it sounds like you do a lot of things. I got a question. What did you start off doing? I know a lot of times we as artists, you know what I'm saying, and I spend a lot of time in New Orleans too. But I want to know what did you start doing? I mean, it sounds like you were jack of all trades now. But what
He
was
asked
your
me,
first?
it seemed like you do a lot of things. Essentially, what did you start off doing? And so,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I started off, I had to start off being me first.
Okay.
You feel me? And so that took a lot for me to just get to a point where I was clear about who I am. And I worked in this career. I worked for a big lingerie company for over a decade. And in that work, I found myself helping women on a regular basis, thousands and thousands of women that I would help. I would be in the fitting rooms with them. Sometimes I would be the only person that would see them naked or topless. And there was a lot of healing work and trauma that I realized women carry, specifically in our wombs, in our breasts, in our bodies. And so that work is what kind of propelled me into the work that I'm doing now. And so I realized I have a bigger purpose in life, and I could continue working here, making this company rich, or I could go and take all this energy and put it into me and my business and my community and my foundation. And that's what I chose to do. And so I knew I wanted it to be in the realm of entertainment because I wanted to have the highest influence on our culture. I realized Black culture, hip hop culture is the most influential culture in this universe. And so for me, I was inspired to tell my story in a way that had never been told. And so I started off doing a little bit of acting. Then, you know, I went into comedy. And then I ended up doing, you know, interviews and stuff for this really dope website known as allwesteverything.com back in the day. And from there, interviewing all these fly artists. I was in school for music. You know, a lot of my friends were in the industry. That just kind of led me to the path of choosing music because I had to choose one in that moment to focus on. And ever since then, you know, I just never looked back and I just kept kicking doors down. And now I'm here. And this is a beautiful ass, popping ass, healthy, medicinal place to be. And I'm thankful.
Zen,
I agree. I think. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I can't see you. So, you know, we normally have our eye signals. So who gets to talk next?
I agree. I think Portland is a great place because it allows you to do a multitude of things. So, I'm just listening to you, and I'm sure I haven't been able to get out for a minute or whatever, so I'm just trying to piece you together on the fly. But you know, so you say you're a healer, or and a musician. What is, I guess, what do you want people to know about your company? Because I feel like a lot of times artists, it's easy for people to put you in a box if you don't define what you are pretty quickly. People will say, "Oh man, well, you know," they listen to this podcast. They might say, "Oh, she a rapper." Oh wait, man, I was just at her show the other day. Nah, she a healer, and they do things like this. And I guess what do you define yourself as, or what do you want people to see you as when they see you? And I'm not asking you that question for you to put your own self in a box. It's just you know what I mean.
I got you.
So other people won't.
I got you. So, in short, he asked me, some people see you as a musician, some people see you as a da-da-da, a CEO, a boss, a healer, event planner. He was like, but what do you see yourself as? He said, not to put you in a box, but how do you want people to see you? Am I right?
Yeah, you got it.
I like all those things. People meet me in different. I'm all those things. I'm a fly ass multi-dimensional being, and I like doing all kind of cool shit and trying new things. Some days I might be more in my like CEO of a record label bag. Some days I might be more in my on stage dancing topless with 100 beautiful women around me throwing rose petals everywhere. You know, some days I might be in a studio making music, or I might be in a one-on-one session, you know, talking to someone about deep self-love and, you know, healing their breasts. And I love all the beautiful parts of me. And depending on where we are vibrationally, that's the part that you'll experience. But all in all, I'm a woman. I represent the divine feminine essence, and we are so many things. We are all these things. Some days I might be in the streets protesting with the people. I might be kicking doors down at your favorite CEO, you know, white CEO company in the cannabis industry, talking about social restoration and things like that. And so I love being a fusion of all of those things that falls under like just being a woman and having this powerful portal, this womb to literally manifest anything and be all things. And ultimately, you know, you can call me a goddess, you can call me a queen, you could call me a boss, you could call me Zen Kush if you want to. That's the movement, and Zen Kush reflects all of that in addition to the community. You know, I look up and I see all these dope ass people in here who are all different types of reflections of myself, and this is what Zen Kush is all about. It's about having the financial people. It's about having the radio personalities, the artists. It's about having the herbalists. It's about having the elders in the space. It's about all of this kind of fused together. And so hopefully that, you know, answers the question in a way that can be received.
Yeah, no, hey, go ahead, Clint. You got it. I mean, I can go all day. So
yeah, I know. You artists, you know, y'all artist people just, you know, y'all make me sick. Y'all just come up with stuff. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just sucking it in like, man, who am I? I'm like, wow. You know, I really don't know who me is. But you know what? But I'm gonna point out one of the sisters. She's sitting over here on my right. I don't know if you guys can see her, but envision this through my eyes right now. She was speaking the other night, and she said, "Men have wounds." Please explain that. You come on. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
He's talking to Jade, y'all. This is Jade, the queen of moon medicine. She hosts the medicine bar at Zen Kush, the official hostess. And he presented the question to her, so she's going to answer it right now. He put her on the spot, and I love it.
Yeah, Jade didn't know she was going to be on here. I hope she ain't got no warrants or
That's what
nothing.
it's all about.
Don't worry. My reference to men having wombs is that through my study of astrology, I've learned that there's entire generations that are ruled by a specific planet and sign. And with that, sorry, y'all. So with that, our generation, a lot of us are connected through womb trauma because of the damage done to the earth, the damage done to women throughout the world. And women are the direct portal to the Most High, and the way she is treated. It's an issue. So every man that comes from a womb, which is every man ever, he is born into major trauma that womb carried. And I have personally been able to witness
That's
that.
deep.
And so when it comes to healing, men need to really tap in to their mother wound. That's what I call that, their mother wound. Us women, we need to tap in to our mother wounds, because that's what will heal the entire earth, our mother's wound. So
Deep. Snap it up. Powerful.
See, you know what? I wanted to know how I was attached to the womb because, me being as old as I am, I thought it was sexual. But I was quickly educated, and, one of the young ladies was telling me how I needed to reconnect with the wound, and I was like, okay, I'm going to ask that question, so that's why I had to ask you that question. Lizzy,
Powerful.
now listen, I
you.
see your followers, I see your team, I see people here, right? It's a Wednesday morning, right? Last Tuesday night was shitty, right? It's a Wednesday morning. You woke up 8 a.m. What's the first thing you're doing? Walk us through your day. Walk us through your day. Like, what comes to your mind when you think about, I got to get up, I got to do something. Walk us through your day. How do you not lose it?
I love that. It might be 6 a.m. And when I wake up, I like to smile, because it's just something about the energy of smiling that kind of, I feel like it activates all my cells. So it's kind of like, what's up, what's good, welcome to another day. And, I like to set my intention for myself before I get out of bed. That's something that's really important for me, because I realize we have the power to literally set the tone of our lives. And so it's like a day by day. It could even be an hour by however you feel. But I feel like when you set that first intention for your day, you set the tone. And some days might be deeper than others. Some day it might just be like, honestly, I just want to be in my flow, and I just want everything to feel like perfect alignment. Some days I might be like, I want to be in my boss bag, productivity. All my phone calls are hitting. All my emails are hitting. And some days it might just be like, I'm just trying to be in the sun with these titties out, you feel me, enjoying a nice sunbathing experience. It just depends on where I'm at, but I always like to at least set the intention, so that if it's something I'm needing more help in, more support in areas of confidence or creativity, I might just set that day. I always like to have a nice hot herbal tea. I like to put herbs in my body every day. Because one, my cells love it, my nervous system loves it, I love it. I love working with different herbs during different seasons of my life, and also I just feel like with so many things constantly coming at us on a regular basis in the world in general, just we constantly darting fuckery. Then I feel like the herbs is it gives me that energetic spiritual layer of protection. I feel like I'm intentionally equipping myself in my warrior gear. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to be mindful of how we protect ourselves before we even move into the world or step into the world. And, each day might look different, but those are like my non-negotiables. And also pleasure. Pleasure rituals are a really important part of my day, my life, just my lifestyle, my existence, and how I flow. And so that's kind of what it looks like. You feel me? And I'm going to definitely stretch. I'm going to do a happy baby. You feel me? I might get my warrior popping off, a downward dog. Just a little bit of stretch because the energy, I like to be in flow. I like to be in motion even if I'm chilling. So the stretch just help you just keep that energy and flow and motion and keep you flexible and fluid. Because, we're elevating more every day. And before we know it, we're going to be 92 years old, y'all. And so it's important for me to just like be mindful of taking care of my temple and setting the intention for the day.
All right, let's jump into this. Zen and Kush.
Yeah.
Now,
You took my question.
okay. So,
No, go ahead.
one of the young ladies we know out here, Miss Oregon, she was helping to promote Zen and Kush. All right, shout out to Miss Oregon. And she was just like, hey, you know what? Want you to show up, come check this out. And, I'm looking at the flyer and I'm like, okay, strippers, I'm there. All right. But I get there.
What happened?
And it's like, I'm walking around and, there's some, very beautiful women there, dressed appropriately how I would prefer it. But what I found was it wasn't sexual. Right. So, I'm sitting there. I wasn't disappointed, but I'm standing there and I'm just looking at people getting in touch with themselves. They're breathing. And, me, I'm like, really wasn't participating, but then I started participating in the breathing and I started relaxing a little. I don't know if it was the CBD, but, I was relaxed. Right. You wake up. Right. And you come up with Zen and Kush. How do you come up with Zen and Kush? And then the second part of the question, how do you get people not to put a negative stereotype or a negative stigma on that?
Wow. That's cool. Queen, can you set my camera up for me and make sure it's filming still? Yeah. You can just set it up right there against the pillow. To answer your question, you had a 2-part question. How did you come up with Zen and Kush? You just woke up and was like Zen and Kush. And 2, how do you, not have the negative stigma associated? Oh, boy. Okay, Zen and Kush is a fusion of many things. I keep talking about this multi-dimensional, elements, right? It's like, okay, I have a strong passion for Black people. Seeing Black people heal and elevate. I also have a strong passion for all people to come together in a space where we see each other and we honor and respect and uplift each other no matter where we're from, with this highly curious energy around erotic art, sensuality, pleasure, feminine essence, exploring that, expressing that, finding new ways to express that, with the final piece of plant medicine and spirituality. And so one day I was like, well, damn, how do I fuse all of those passions together in a space that's safe enough to explore those things, to explore cannabis, to explore sensuality and erotica, while talking about social justice and uplifting the people. And, I envisioned what the event, I envisioned what that experience would look like. And I knew that the lighting was sexy. I knew that the women were beautiful and rare. You feel me? And I knew that it was highly melanated, yet reflective of the collective as a whole. And so with my history in curating events and being an artist, it was like an easy thing for me. As far as the title, I was thinking about something real short and sexy and sweet and like fly that could be memorable. And for some reason, Gin and Juice came to mind. Snoop Dogg. And I'm like, damn, Gin and Juice, you could hear that and, you can relate it to the brand, to the vibe, to the culture, to that time, to the energy. And so Zen and Kush just flowed through. And it's a fusion of that Zen energy, those elements of Zen culture, Zen vibrations, that lifestyle, that belief system fused with not only Kush, what we smoking on up in here, but representative of the great kings and queens of the land of Kush, and fusing that together for something the world has never experienced, but definitely needs.
So now let's take a step back and break down the Zen, right? So you've already talked about connecting with the universe and connecting with yourself, uplifting yourself. I want to connect with my Zen. What would be the first thing that I need to do?
What'd you say?
Rub on my. Listen, I don't know. I've been connected with my Zen a long time. Then since I was about 12. No, but
that's
what's
beautiful. I mean, the first thing that I personally would say is always the breath, connecting to the breath, making the breath the foundation of your lifestyle. Just in all moments. It's something I'm working on every single day, but I have people around me that hold me accountable, that remind me. I have different factors and triggers in my life that make me remember to just breathe on purpose, to just connect. I feel like when you breathe on purpose, let's take a deep breath real quick on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Release. One more time. Deep breath in through your nose. Hold. Release. Breathing on purpose is a direct line to divinity itself. Whenever you need to reconnect, find yourself, find your balance, catch your breath, ground into the present moment. Just stopping to take a deep breath is so powerful. It's such potent medicine that just lightens you. You might have heavy stress on your heart, and you just breathe in, and you can just eliminate the toxic energy right then and there. And so that would be the first thing, is just making a commitment to yourself, to making breath your lifestyle, the foundation of your lifestyle. As much as you can, as often as you can, just remembering. And it could be like deep breath in through your nose, breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 4 seconds. And maybe you make a commitment to yourself, I'm going to do that 10 times a day for sure. If I do it more, yay me, but I'm committing to myself 10 deep breaths every day, right before I shower, as I'm waiting in line. Just make those little commitments to yourself, and that will automatically just bring you to a space of complete groundedness, deeper awareness of the world, but also of self, and all the other beautiful things that Zen represents.
Now, do I need Kush to find my Zen?
Damn, that's a good ass question. Okay, do you need Kush to find your Zen? Oh, that sounds like a song to me. Sound like something I'm about to subscribe.
Hey, hurry up and copyright that. She gonna make a song and copyright that.
Do you need Kush? You know what? No. The answer is no.
Okay.
And just how I describe breath work, that's one beautiful gift that we have been blessed with, to experience life in a more potent and medicinal way. We also have herbs, whether it's Kush, whether it's dandelion, whether it's mullein to open up the lungs, whether it's Damiana when you're feeling sexy and erotic, whether it's blue lotus when you want to get creative, whether it's whatever the fuck you want to sip on or smoke on or bathe in, you feel me, or do a pussy steam. with the herbs. There's trap chi. There's tai chi. There's all these various modalities and offerings that exist that we can choose from. Some people choose Reiki. Some people choose kickboxing, and some people choose cannabis. Some might choose all three. It's just one tool that helps you relax into that energy. But no, you don't need it. I feel like taking 10 deep breaths in a row is the same thing as smoking on a gram of that Queen Elizabeth Kush over there, which is my new strain that I just dropped underground. We in the streets with it. Hit me up. I got the 3-5 for the 5-5. You feel me? Taking over for the 2022. Hey.
Shameless plug, but we love them shameless plugs.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
No,
My bad.
okay.
Go ahead, man.
No, you go ahead.
So you out here from LA, New Orleans roots. So I mean, how are you finding your tribe? I mean, how are you finding your tribe? I know. I mean, I've only seen the pictures, so you gotta. I'm kind of just looking in from the websites and reading up on what's online. So I'm looking at it like, okay, Zen and Kush, okay. Lizzy Jeff, she's out in Portland, and while Portland seems to be, well, I mean, we live here, so we know it's inclusive. But how everybody else looks at it, that seems to be inclusive. And I'm sure, like, if I'm black, I look at you and I'm like, oh shit, maybe I want to be down. But like, we may not run in the same circles. We may not happen to pass each other on the way to get food or whatever. So how are you finding your tribe? What's your beacon? How are you bringing people to this?
That's a good question. He basically asked me, because he lives in Portland, which, as many of us know, is over 90% white.
Yeah, I don't want to say it.
There is a black community here.
Yeah.
But he's saying, like, we're here, we're a tight-knit community in our community. But how do I find the tribe? When I go to these different cities, how do we link up with the tribe? I'm going to be real with you. What I realize about the work that I do, about the magic that I possess, is the power of my intention. And so in my work, in my music, in my curations, and everything that I do as an artist, as a creator, I'm fusing it with an intention. And my intention, the root of my business and my foundation, is literally rooted in elevating and uplifting Black people specifically, and the collective as a whole, but especially people that look like me. And so in this intention, the work is expressed in all these different ways where the community finds me. So in these different places, I'm putting it out there that this might be what I'm looking for, but it's also coming back to me tenfold, 10 times over. And so we find each other because the vibe, I fine tune the vibe, and it's like a radio frequency, right? If you listen to 92.3, you get hip hop. If you listen to 94.7, you might get some smooth jazz. And so you can't hear jazz from listening to 92.3, and you won't hear hip hop on 94.7. And so it's like you can only hear hip hop if you listen to 92.3. And so for me, I like my things a very particular way. I like my lifestyle a very particular way. I like things done. I like to experience life in a specific way. So I'm fine-tuning myself to that particular frequency so that the people around me that are culminating around me are on that same frequency or on that same vibration. And so though I'm surrounded by beautiful Black queens all the time who are on that vibration, I'm surrounded by so many dope-ass people from other communities and other cultures who also believe in the mission, who also believe in uplifting people, who also believe in using their platform, their privilege, their power to activate opportunities for everybody to be seen and everybody to thrive. And so I don't really worry too much about it. Some cities geographically look different. I mean, Portland looked different from an Atlanta event, but both are equally lit and both feel like community.
Yeah. I got you. One more question, Clint, then I'm gonna give it back to you. It seems like the things that you do and the work that you do, there's you are you are immersed in this cannabis community. And so, since you didn't come up in Portland, I want to ask you, how inclusive has the community and how welcoming has it been to you?
The cannabis community?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yeah, because, sometimes it can be, everybody got they clicks in every city.
That's a good question, man. He basically asked, with everything that's going on in the cannabis industry and all the changes in the da-da-da-da-da-das, how inclusive, how open has the cannabis industry been to the work that you're doing? Am I hearing you correctly?
Absolutely. You got it.
I'm going to be real with you. When I was working in the dispensary, I was the only one that looked like me. And it was cool. It was cute. It was fun. You feel me? It was influential and very inspiring. And I got to meet a lot of the owners and the CEOs of various companies. And I was like, damn, okay. But I remember seeing all the black men and women going to jail for this back in the 80s and 90s and the 2000s up until right now, this very day. And yet, when you look at the industry, it ain't nobody that really look like me that's serving in these high-level positions. And so for me, part of it was I would be invited as an artist to perform at cannabis events where you got to meet all the farmers and all the dope people in the industry. And it honestly, y'all, was a room full of white people. Oftentimes, I would be invited to speak on a panel where I was the only black person on the panel and the only black person in the room talking about social justice and accountability, white accountability in the industry. And so, I like having a voice and I like using my voice to be in those places to have these conversations. But I was also like, if I get invited to one more of these motherfucking events, and these motherfuckers is talking about cannabis, CBD facials, having parties in Bel Air with the CBD lounges, and there's people in jail right now, then there's a problem. And so for me, I was like, okay, I need to create my own lane. So Zen Kush was birthed from the vision of wanting to create a space where everybody could exist, because I would go to these events and it would be nobody there that looked like me. But when I'm back in the streets with my people, whether I'm in Lamert, whether I'm in Venice, Inglewood, I look around and it's black, it's Asian, it's white, it's Pakistani, it's Hindu, it's all these various cultures that Mexican, you feel me, we vibing and smoking together, and it's all love and it's all respect and it's all honor. And I'm like, that's not being represented in the industry. So I started pulling the community together. And so there's a difference between the cannabis community and the cannabis industry. Yes, the community is highly receptive and open to what we're doing. And the industry is, in a sense, but I'm going to be real. Like, I've had a meeting with dozens and dozens of CEOs at these brands having these high-level accountability conversations and how you want to show up. And, it's a lot of talk. And so I'm doing my own work and doing what we're doing, but we are in the industry. We are in high-level positions. We exist, and we are working every day for equity, for licenses, for distribution, for manufacturing, for, dispensaries and stuff like that. We exist, and we are telling our story, and that's part of the work that I do, is telling our story, how it should be told. Yeah.
She's dope. That's why we're here. Now, you know what? So let me be the devil's advocate here for a minute. The industry, like most industries, are not inclusive of people of color. Mm-hmm. So should we get into the industry and help it to make money, even with our own brands? Or should we boycott the industry and make them see us for who we are?
You know what? I love that question. And my first thought is, yes, we should absolutely be in the industry. There is room, there is space. Cannabis is a quadrillion, billion, bazillion dollar industry and will be a multi-100,000 billion industry in the next year to two. So yes, absolutely get that ass in the industry. Marketing, PR, manufacturing, distribution, delivery, licensing, production, white labeling, farming, growing, trimming, working at the dispensary, shaking that ass in the club. It don't motherfucking matter. The opportunities exist. They are far and wide. To answer part 2, you said, should we boycott? This is what I believe. I believe that is a certain level of energy that is required to boycott anything. I'm all about how do we utilize our energy? How do we maximize on our energy, harnessing the energy to literally cultivate a new earth? And so for me, I'd rather take the boycott energy, flip it and dip it, shake it up, add a little mango juice to it, a squeeze of lime, and then present it as a new alternative way to experience cannabis, to experience the industry.
I love it.
Our culture literally runs everything. I've seen it firsthand in the industry and all the partnerships that I've had with these various companies, and they ain't shit without us. So all we do is recognize our power, put the spruce on it, the sprinkle, and then just reflect it in a way that's representative of us. And I'm seeing it happen. There's shout out to Gorilla RX on Crenshaw Boulevard in LA, a black woman-owned cannabis dispensary. Shout out to Josephine and Billy's, a black multiple woman-owned dispensary with a heavy investment from Jay-Z, you feel me, in the cannabis industry. You feel me? There's shout out to Dejanay Evans. Shout out to all of the people that are working hard on the ground, creating opportunities for us to experience wealth. But the wealth that was stolen from our communities during the war on drugs, the peace of mind that was stolen from our communities is literally being presented to us in this most beautiful way on the platter, on this golden, cushy, terpene, trichome platter of cannabis. Cannabis is literally the key, the gateway to the social restoration that we've been yearning for so long. It's going to bring the healing, it's going to bring the resources, it's going to bring the wealth back to the families that was literally obliterated. There's children that went into the foster care system. There's children that went into the streets. There's people that went into prison for nonviolent cannabis crimes and then came out and not able to get a job because they were labeled some type of fuckery from the system. And so the opportunity exists and the opportunity is here now. So in any way, shape, or form that you can get into the industry, there is opportunity. It exists. And Zen Kush is the liaison between the community and the industry and funneling people into high-level positions. Not only that, but also into our own shit that we're creating. But I think we infiltrate both and all and everything and just push our energy and create this new world.
Okay, so let me challenge your Zen.
Okay, challenge me.
Let me
now.
challenge your Zen.
I like a good challenge.
Nicki Minaj,
Oh my goodness, here he go with this shit.
Cardi B, Sweetie,
Uh-huh.
Meg Thee Stallion.
Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Sweetie, and Meg Thee Stallion.
Are you in that lineup? Do you fall into that category?
Absolutely, yes. You want to know why?
Please tell me.
I'm going to tell you why. He said Nicki Minaj, come on. He said Cardi B, y'all better tag me if you post this. He said Sweetie. He said Meg Thee Stallion. And that was it?
Yeah, that's
then he said, are you
that's
in
all my
that
fantasy
lineup?
girls. Sorry.
Because
Go
those
ahead.
are, I understand why you asked that, because they come to mind first when you think of women in hip hop that are making a splash and a dash. And there are dozens and dozens of other fly ass women that are rapping as well. But yes, I say yes because this is why. Shout out to the masterclass. We live with it, y'all. I love those women. They're beautiful. They're powerful. They reflect. They represent, they represent femininity. They represent what it is to be a woman, to be a boss, to be in your motherfucking bag, to be creative. Now, of course, you know, people feel how they feel about the way some of these women represent their sexuality or the type of deals and partnerships that they take. But my thoughts on it is, when you think about hip-hop is the most influential form of music in the entire world. It's the most powerful genre of music that exists. It's literally raising generations of people. And when you think about the infiltration and the dilution of hip hop in the various forms that it has come through, such as bogus record deals, dumbass partnerships, weird percentage splits, and artists not being able to own their masters. When you think about the infiltration of hip hop, of our sacred culture and music form, hip hop needs some love right now. Hip hop needs some healing. Hip hop needs the divine feminine healing. And excuse me, drink water. This is my personal thoughts. Hip hop needs that divine feminine healing. When you think about a woman and her baby, and that baby is crying, that mommy is going to take that baby and she going to put that baby right on that titty and give that baby nourishment, and that baby will cease from crying. That baby's going to be nourished. That baby's going to be healed. That baby's going to need all the energy that that baby needs in that moment. And I feel like it's time right now for the women to take hip hop. Hip hop needs the titty right now. Let's be honest. Yeah. And so when you think about these black women who are expressing themselves in these powerful ways, to me, I see it as, for a long time, black women haven't even had sovereignty over our wombs, let alone our sexuality. And we didn't have that freedom, that sovereignty. And then when, we got a sprinkle of it, it was immediately banned and labeled toxic and labeled hypersexual and labeled slutty and labeled all of these things. And so what's happening right now is it's a motherfucking evolution. It's a revolution. Women, especially black women, but all women, are taking back our power, and we're taking it back, and we're reclaiming the throne of our sexuality. The actual planet would cease to exist without a black woman's sexuality, literally. So hip-hop being the most influential form of music, the most listened to form of music, who better than the black woman to reclaim the throne, to put it on the titty, you feel me, on the hip, and bring it back to life, infuse it with that feminine energy. So I thank Megan, I thank Cardi, I thank Sweetie, I thank the women that you name, because sexuality literally created the world. So sexuality is going to be that first open layer that's going to heal hip hop. So that's what you need to get people's attention and wake people up, so they kicking the door down so I could float right through. I'm already in my own zone. I'm already a very successful artist in my own right, doing everything sometimes more than mainstream signed artists are even experiencing, with way more control over my music and what I'm creating. However, the next level is hitting that next level circuit to the mainstream, where this message can really be funneled through. And so I appreciate those women for kicking the doors down, for being sexual, for claiming it for themselves, for it not being defined by some man, you feel me, some white man specifically, but any man coming through, allowing me the opportunity for me and all my queens to float through, with a new vibe, with a something different, something sexy. You still gonna get these titties, you feel me? You still gonna see some fine women walking around with hips and ass. You still gonna get the vibe, but you also gonna get these codes and this medicine and these herbal infusions and these prescriptions. You feel me? So that's how I feel about that.
I got a question, Clint.
Go ahead.
All right, so I feel like in this podcast, you kind of outline what you want to do and what you're trying to do. My question to you is, what's the biggest shit standing in your way? What's the problem?
Biggest shit standing in my way?
Yeah, like when I say big, I mean it can be anything. It can be it can be micro or macro. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
What's standing in your way? What do you feel like at this point of the game? Like, what the problem is? What do you think is one of the major things that stands in the way of progress? The type of progress you're trying to make.
He said, at this stage in your career, what is one of the main things that's standing in the way of your progress? Excuse me. And how I want to answer it is, I'm going to breathe into it. and say, not a damn thing. Not one motherfucking thing is standing in my way. I'm clear. My path is very clear. I can see the vision is activated. I have a powerful team around me that sees the vision clearly, that is down to pull up the sleeves and put in the work to bring the vision to life. There's nothing in my way. Actually, the paths are unfolding every time I step foot out of my bed on a daily basis. Alignment is mine. Prosperity is mine. Abundance is mine. Dope ass connections are mine. We gonna hit the Billboard charts when we hit the motherfucking Billboard charts. We gonna hit the Grammys when it's time to hit the Grammys, when it's time to deliver that specific message to that specific audience.
I love it.
Everything is in flow. Everything is activated.
I almost want to play the outro music right there, because that's a drop the mic moment right there. Like, shit, I don't know where I should go from here.
I like that answer.
Yeah,
I like that.
That answer is real.
Yeah, it is, because that means that means that there's. I mean, there'll be obstacles with anything, but I like that you're not acknowledging.
One more time.
I said no. I like that.
Quiet energy on the set, y'all. Please, thank you so much. What did you say?
I
love?
said I like that answer because everybody like there's opposition to everything, but a lot of this shit is what you decide to take on.
Mm-hmm.
I like that answer. It's like I ain't shit in my way. I like that. That's great.
He said he likes that answer.
So I spoke of the current female rap idols.
Mm-hmm.
You're all natural.
Mm-hmm.
All natural.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just straight up and down, just the natural beauty.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That
That's very sweet.
a person of my age can more appreciate.
Uh-huh.
But listen, I wasn't shooting my shot. Stop it.
I'm
Too old for that. No, but a person might, I'm a little old school. I didn't grow up with the implants or anything like that. And my PR rep is not here. Her name is La Libra. So when I start to get misogynistic, she sits in the back room going, stop it. Don't do that. Mm. But, just thinking on that level, you're more natural. But women are still celebrating these other females who are taking things to a different level in order to be seen and recognized. I mean, why haven't you jumped on that bandwagon?
Damn. I do want to take a minute and shout out to all my homegirls across the world who have gotten their titties done and their asses done. I love y'all, and y'all are beautiful. And for me, I'm not really the bandwagon type of bitch. I'm really not. I'm really not. Ever since I was 1, I recall just if I didn't like something, if I didn't agree with something, I would just create my own version. I would just create my own reality. I used to create my own board games. I would just do it, make it myself, create a better version of it. And if somebody was doing the same thing, I would just do my own thing. You feel me? And so also I love my body.
That's what's up.
I've struggled, with confidence in certain areas. Like I told y'all, I grew up in New Orleans, and like bitches is 10 years old with ass and titties in New Orleans. Let's be real. You feel me? In the South, they made different. And so I grew up like around all the thicky thick girls. You feel me? All my friends was the thicky thick girls, and it was beautiful to see. But I just never really had those voluptuous curves like that. And so that came with my own work that I had to do with my own self-worth, and not wearing certain clothes and wearing baggy clothes, to hide my skinny legs or whatever the fuck, or a baseball cap because I had a big forehead, or you feel me, like some dumb shit, a big baggy t-shirt, because all this shit people would say. And so I had to like take back my power and find a way to just love myself for how I am and appreciate myself, the beauty and the power and the creativity and the brilliance and just all the cool shit that I bring to the table as is. And so I haven't been interested in altering my body in a way to put something else in it. When I hit the Culver City stairs every other day for 3 months in the summer, that ass is sitting right and those thighs are looking kind of cute, you feel me? So I'm cool with like hitting the stairs on a regular basis. But as far as like altering my body in any way. I've just never felt the need to. But like I said, shout out to all my women worldwide that went and got their titties done. That's feeling good. That's looking good. The last thing that I'll say about that is I'm not here to bash no women. I'm always here to uplift and empower women in everything that I do, and especially in the music. And I truly believe that with the love that I was talking about, that hip hop needs, when we think about the main conversation that's being pushed through the mainstream, it doesn't necessarily uplift women in the most powerful ways all the time consistently. There are artists that uplift women in their music, Tobe, my boy Kendrick, other dope people, Mick Jenkins, people like that uplift the women. But for the most part, what's coming through the mainstream is not very empowering of women and our bodies and our no matter what we look like. And so for me, it's like, okay, well, if that's what we're constantly being fed or consuming, then how would you know anything alternative? And so for me, I have a song called Beautiful Breasts, where I'm talking about no matter what shape, size, color, how round, how flat the nipples are, if one titty bigger than the other, it's still beautiful. You're still beautiful. Them titties are perfect, regardless of what society says. And so I feel like when that music starts, pushing through even more, it's already pushing through. People are already having their lives change and loving their bodies more through the music. But once it pushes through, then we will see the shift in the collective mindset changing about women's bodies and loving our bodies. And so I feel like it's going to be that one time we look back 100, 200 years from now, like, oh, remember that one era where women were getting silicone titties? Like, oh my goodness, wow, what an era. It's not an eternal thing, because I feel like we are going back to just appreciating and loving our natural bodies no matter how they look. I love you. Yeah.
L.A.
Yeah.
We got a little time left.
Okay.
Got a lot of trauma and scars from growing up in L.A.?
Damn. Woo.
I grew up in Compton, and so I always like to touch
Okay.
bases with folks from my era. And, do you suffer from that PTSD of growing up there?
Damn, I don't want to say I suffer. I don't want to say I suffer from PTSD, but I will say that my experiences growing up as a child in LA have had a lasting impact in various ways on my life. But it is a part of my healing too. It's a part of what inspires my healing, and also just seeing how my mom, how my daddy, how my uncles, how they grew up and how LA treated them during their era, and just the generational trauma that kind of came through that. And understanding that and not allowing it to define me in any way, but also allowing it to kind of activate my healing in a way that when I am back in the streets, the medicine, the energy that I've gotten on my healing journey, I'm able to impart that on the streets in whatever way that I can in my community. And hopefully that answers your question.
No, it answers my question. We go bounce back to the we go bounce to the CBD part, right? That I left out in the beginning. Toasty.
Yeah,
Out of LA.
Let's go.
Toasty out of LA. Come on, tell me about Toasty. Now I'm looking here at the pamphlet, at the flyer here. I see a lot of stuff that I'm already gonna order, like these bath
Oh,
balls.
that's fire.
I got to get the bath balls. But I got to get that.
He an old school player.
Hey, listen. I get
school.
I get in the bathtub with my Walkman on. Listening to my cassette tapes.
Hey, man, you're so cool.
You
You're
know?
so damn cool.
But how do you affiliate yourself?
That's a good question. I'm really glad you asked me that, because I feel so good about this. I feel so strong about this. This beautiful woman right here, that's Jamie. She the CEO. She the founder of Toasty. And her shit is so fly. The marketing, the branding, the actual bottles with the gold top. I just like real classy, luxurious things, especially that's been curated by women, for women, but for everybody, because women just do it in a real sensual, classy, boss-ass way, and that's what she did. And I've been in this industry for a little minute, you feel me? Not as long as the OGs, but for a little minute. And this is one of the favorite brands that I've seen, that I've experienced. She does tinctures that you can take internally every day that are infused with CBD. She has like massage oil, CBD infused massage oil, bath bombs, capsules, stuff like that. And what's so dope about her, she reached out to me. She was like, I'm another Black woman cannabis owner, and I love your brand. I love what you're doing with Zen Kush. I would love to send you some of my fly product to experience. And she sent me some stuff, and I got it, and I'm just so impressed. She's just a boss. I'm just impressed by everything. And when I tried it, it just inspired me to continue working with her rather than just like one Instagram post. That's not really something I do. It's important for me to stay connected to the community and also utilize Zen Kush as a platform to introduce fly brands that I love and care about and believe in to the community. And so Queen More Life has been working with me full time now. She is so many beautiful things, as well as over holistic and wellness partnerships with Zen Kush. She hosts the CBD infused tonic bar at the Zen Kush events. And so
outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Okay, talk about it. And so she infuses her custom alkaline, delicious, nutritious, sensational yum juices and shots with the CBD. And it's just such a power collaboration. And so I'm glad we had the opportunity to shout out Toasty. This is her little pamphlet. I'll pass it around. Y'all could check it out. But she real dope. And Queen, I'm going to say this last thing. Queen took the lead on that because there are many partnerships and dope things that I'm doing. But Queen, I was able to like pass her, you feel me, the ball. And she knew exactly what the fuck to do with it. And so Queen
She understood the assignment.
She understood the assignment, and she activated and took
TikTok.
that collaboration to another level in which I was hoping for. And so I appreciate you, Queen, for just being a boss, being on your shit, making that happen, staying connected, and bringing opportunities like this for all of us to win and eat and thrive and be medicinal. I love you, girl.
Hey, you talked about earlier about your team and having a great team behind you. And, you know, and I went up to Queen More Life, and I was like, hey, I want you on my podcast so you can tell me about your product. And she was like, now we're going to talk about Lizzy Jeff. That's a fucking team. You know what I'm saying? That's a person that's not selfish. She could have been like, I'll be back later, y'all, and, you know, met up with me and we did a podcast and she promoted her shit. She was like, oh, we going to talk about Lizzy Jeff. And when I came in, I was like, well, you know, I want to do an intro of your product. No. This is what we go to do. So, you know, she's keeping it 100. She didn't, you know, I'm glad you plugged her because she was like making sure it was all about you and this product here. I swear to God, that's how it went down. Where are you going to be performing next? Yeah, you got a hell of a team. I had to put her out there.
I appreciate you saying that because stuff like that is very important for me and to me, and that's just another reflection of the expression of gratitude that I just gave you. Like, that's why I fuck with you. That's why I love you. You are a rare person, very rare. Your energy, your commitment, your loyalty, just your fucking brilliance and creativity, so rare. And I'm very honored and thankful to have you. And you're beautiful. And if we gonna move as a collective, we gonna move as a collective. And it's certain things that you know, a rare few people are capable of. And so I just appreciate you always being down for the team and just letting me know that you here for us, for Zen Kush. Because I always tell Queen shit, like, if I'm eating and I'm thriving and we eating and we thriving, then you definitely eating and thriving. We always gonna eat and thrive and just eat good food and travel the world and wear fly-ass lingerie to the grocery store and just, you know. And so, yeah, my team is lit. And who you see sitting next to her, that's Ra. You feel me? Ra, she from L.A., she from Compton. And Ra,
Magnolia, baby.
I remember one time I was hosting a Zen Kush event in Atlanta, and Ra just pulled up. She didn't ask no questions. She didn't ask for no money. She just got her own flight, got her own rental, pulled up and said, I'm here to serve. How can I help? And ever since then, like, she just showed me that she's capable of just being a boss on her own, but being in dedication and service to the vision. And I appreciate you. We didn't have to kick some doors in together. You help me, I help you. It's a motherfucking vibe. And you not afraid to do the stuff and get your hands dirty. And you're not afraid to break that foot off in somebody's ass if I might not necessarily have the energy to do it. And I appreciate that. And my mom loves you. So thank you, Ra. I appreciate you. And so what was the question?
So we go jump.
Okay.
We go come back to that.
Okay.
So speaking of Ra told me, she said, if you see a queen, you gift a queen. Now I'm an overthinker, huh? You bless a queen, right? I'm an overthinker. I'm old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, she was like, there's roses around here. I'm like, if I give a woman a rose, she gonna definitely want to go home with me, and I can't have that. You know what I'm saying? But I bought some gifts for the queens that I had met and that I had saw. So I got some 2 Cent the Podcast t-shirts here. Now, mind you, if these sizes...
You gonna bless them with something with your face on it?
Yes. My partner said, are you gonna bless them with something with your face on it? Yes. As they interconnect with themselves, especially the lower part, I hope I'm part of that thought. I'm sorry. I'm a misogynist. But I brought you guys some 2 Cent the Podcast t-shirts. You
That's
guys
fire.
You guys can pick your sizes. But on
That's fire.
this one, Queen More Life, this one is especially for you. It's a tank top. Everybody else got a t-shirt, because I mean the way you was plugging, like I'm hitting her up, on Instagram, and we messaging back and forth, and just her vibe was just real. So I think want to bring you one of the t-shirts to help you stand out a little bit, because you like to play the background, and that's okay.
Right.
So as you drinking your CBD tea, you could also do it with a 2 Cent the Podcast tea mug, coffee mug, whatever you want to call it. So, I came bearing some gifts. And so before we sign off, where are you performing at next? Tell us, give us your agenda. What's going on? What's your schedule?
Well, tonight I'm going to perform for myself in the mirror.
Okay.
After I get out the shower.
Do you tip well?
With a little Drake on. And I'm going to tip myself.
Okay.
But nah, January 30th, we doing Zen Kush, the 6-year anniversary in LA. You feel me? 6 magnificent years of just fly-ass experiences. Oh, my goodness. Wow, I just got flashbacks. And then February 2nd, we're going to the crystal conversion at the Tucson Gym Show in Arizona. February 5th, we got Zen Kush Phoenix. February 27th, we got Zen Kush Hawaii. March 20th, we got Zen Kush Miami. You feel me? And then we going to Atlanta, and then we going to Costa Rica for a few months. So we on tour with it all year, coming to a city near you. But we in this thing, y'all. Oh, yeah, the virtual event is on February 13th. February 13th, we doing a virtual Valentine's late night experience. So come fuck with me, y'all.
All right.
We in this thing.
Last question.
Yeah.
What's your zodiac
Shoot.
sign?
The reason why I laugh is because my bitches just read me the other day. They dragged me because of my zodiacs. Talking about your stellium in your 19th house, your abandonment issues. Oh my God, you're traumatized. I'm like, damn, bitches. But nah, I'm a Leo sun.
Leo.
With a little bit of a sprinkle of a splash of the Taurus moon, which I feel is very obvious. I never give this much personal information, but I trust you. And my Venus is in Virgo. And my Aquarius is... Exactly. You feel me? So that's a little something about me. But I feel like I got big Leo energy for show. With the Taurus, the sensual and the wealth and the yachts and the luxury. But we still in the streets with it, kicking doors in when need be.
Ra, what's your zodiac? It's personal? Okay.
I like that answer.
My PayPal, my Cash
She said it's
You know,
personal.
hey, she been trying to tax me since I met her.
She's Sagittarius, and she said it's personal or
Hey,
Cancer.
listen, this is what she told
I
me.
like that.
So when we was talking about the podcast, she's like, "I'm not wearing this unless you paying me." It's like I just want to talk. Oh no, no, it was. You know, I didn't want to look like a weirdo and be taking pictures of, you know, just the women and not paying attention to the message. So I try to keep my phone
Hey,
in my pocket and pay attention to the message.
you need to get a few
I
pictures
like
though,
that.
just for promotion. He said, well, listen, let them take some pictures and then send them. I still need a few for promotion. Jesus Christ.
Hey, so my business partner and co-host, he's on here. Look, we need pictures, and we need those pictures. You know,
No. We
God
just need
damn.
man. Listen, I
we
just
need
need
some promo pictures. So you guys
I
make
just need
sure
some promo pictures,
after
man. I
this,
don't
I'm
got
going to
it.
get a picture of all you guys for being here, because actually this is our first audience that we've done a podcast in front of, and you guys have been great.
Zen
Give
Kush
yourself a round of
audience.
applause. We really appreciate you guys giving us the time and, you know, being on this platform, educating our listeners about, you know, other things that's going on, you know. But please check out 2 Cent the Podcast. 2 Cent the Podcast listeners, make sure you guys tap into Lizzy Jeff, because if you
Thank
don't,
you so much.
you ain't shit.
Oh,
Peace.
Oh man.
Aw. Thank you so much. That was fly.
This has been 2 Cents, the podcast, hosted by Clinton Washington, with co-host D'Angelo Gillespie, brought to you by Underway Entertainment and Pound the Payment Productions. Thanks for listening.
Thank y'all so much for being here. Is there a part that resonated most with you?